So, we're out here keeping it West Coast, working on the old Fairlane. Fairlane. Sorry, I had a few drinks here tonight, but I just wanted to keep you informed on what's going on with this, because this is the first time I have really worked on this in a long time, since I've been at the other house. Haven't really touched it besides move it around back and forth inside the shop here. So tonight we are working on pulling out the springs. I started taking apart the front end tonight because I was hoping to have the front end dropped out and done, but it's a little harder than most conventional suspensions. So, well, let's just do this. So on these cars, so the upper, how do you explain this? So it is a upper and lower control arm suspension. I'm trying to do this on the tripod. So there's your drum. You have an upper and a lower control arm like a standard car, but the lower control arm is not triangulated like say a Chevy, which everybody is familiar with. It has a strut rod, which is that rod right in the middle going across. The upper arm is triangulated, that's the upper ball joint. There's two bolts going behind the spring there, and you notice the spring is mounted to the upper control arm via that mount bushing assembly right there. You see where the shock is mounted also. So it all mounts to that upper area. Let me just show you what it looks like on the inside. That is the inside of the engine compartment. You can see where the spring actually mounts to the subframe, whatever you want to call this whole assembly up front. And the spring mounts up there. There's a piece that mounts over the top. It's like a tripod that the spring mounts to and everything. So there's a few parts disassembled. And there's a part that covers this whole assembly up on top there. You can see all the open holes and bare metal on both edges of the screen right there. There's a big plate that mounts over all that to kind of tie it all together. So the problem I have is this lower control arm with, I haven't even disconnected anything besides the steering because I took it apart a long time ago. Hopefully I'm not rambling on here. Basically, everything's still connected, but this lower control arm is hitting the frame on the edges. Right, if you can see, right here, and same on the other side. I lost the light. So, I have the spring strapped in there. What I'm going to do is unbolt the upper control arm, because it mounts to there and there. So I'm just going to release those bolts, and hopefully that spring doesn't fly out too far. That's why I strap it in. Everybody strap your springs in so you don't lose your head. So I'm going to put this right here and just kind of see what happens, because the camera is a lot more replaceable than my face. So let me get ready. Alright, we're pulling the spring apart, so we'll be on the safety of this side, and we will see what happens. There it is. Damn. That was dirty. Super dirty. Yeah. Not still a ratchet that flew off. So everything's loose now. Woo! Apparently that's the way to do it. Alright. Let's do the other side. It's hammer time. almost flush. Pull the washers off and go a little further. Probably should have released the tension a little bit, because that strap is tight right now. Got the tension on it right here. There it is. Boom. Alright, we're loose. I think I just filmed a huge thing without pushing record. So, this is the suspension. I don't want to go through this whole thing again. Basically, the other side, I just took off the brake line. Suspension is hanging loose. All I got left is the lower control arm. Now I'm going to take the brake line off this side and do the same thing. Alright, I pulled the suspension out of the way here. You can see it on the side there. The light up on the side with it. So working on this flared nut wrench, which are useless to begin with. Most likely it's going to round out the bolt. Ooh, it's spun everything. Nice. That's a different one. Alright. So, I'm going to back this guy up. You should back it up with the correct size bolt and all that gobbledygook. But, I'm going to replace these rubber lines and these steel lines. So, I really don't care about anything that's going on here. Cuss words. It's an interesting one. What I could do, it's cheap. Hope y'all can see this. So, I think I got this clip already. What is up with this light? Holy cow, dude. Really? This is one of those. Grab as tight as you can. Alright. Here's the clip. That's how you cheat. Just snake it through. Alright. Screw that rubber line. That's how we're doing that one. Alright, let me pause the gangster rap here. So, tonight, just seeing what's going on. I just knocked out the lower control arm bolts. They came out with these. No big deal at all. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I was hoping to pull everything out at once right now, but I forgot to take out the strut rods. So I got some more bolts to take off. So let me get to that. Let me get back at ya.